You have this really intense flow state that you get into when you paint. I'd love it if you'd share how you get yourself there and what that kind of looks and feels like for you when it's happening.
Okay, so for me, like, because I paint every day and it is my job, I've got to paint no matter, people always ask, oh, do you get it ever not in the mood to paint? There's no compromise.
There's no question.
Yeah, like if I'm in a bad mood, good mood, whatever the mood, I have to work. So what I find helps is I get up quite early, I'll go to the gym, do a workout, and then I'll come back home, have a coffee, and it's just getting my mental health in the right place where I'm able to sit down and not be overtaken by thoughts and emotions and everything, So it's just having that clear head. And so what I do is I sit down and I just pick up my palette. And even if the last thing I feel like doing is painting, I'll still pick up the palette and I'll start painting. Just one brushstroke at a time. And, it takes about, I would usually say about an hour or so. Like once you've figured out what colors you're using, like the rhythm of the paintbrush going onto the canvas, the area that you're working on. Once you've got that going, you enter that sort of flow state where you're painting and you can see the progression and like you can see the animal coming alive with every brush stroke that you do. And that to me that's the flow state where it's not something that's conscious, it's just happening. I don't know, that's
how are you feeling when that's happening?
Yeah, how am I feeling? I'm feeling relaxed, and like I'm not really like, often I'll have like music or the radio or just something going in the background, but I'm not even listening. I'm literally
in the zone,
completely focused on what I'm doing.
And you also sometimes, what do you listen to? Sometimes to get into the mood.
I listen to your podcast.
That's a very good answer, but actually the true answer is African, right?
Yeah, no, I do. When
the check is in the mail.
So when I'm working, like often, like like I like to have the sounds of the bush. Like to me, just having that sound of all the birds and you hear like the hippos and what have you, that just transforms me or takes me back to that time when I was living there doing that artist residency at the golf estate. So I'll put on like Africam or just some sort of wildlife webcam within Africa, and I'm not even actually watching it. I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the sounds. And that to me is just the most soothing way to get into painting. You're completely in the zone.
Confidently navigate your brand's future, fit for purpose and poised for success.